How would you like a proven process that is guaranteed to improve your success rate when it comes to TikTok advertising? Stick around and that's exactly what I'm going to show you today. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Mark. I run a TikTok marketing agency and we help e-commerce brands to set up and scale their TikTok ads. Now if anyone tells you that they can guarantee that a creative is going to be a success, they're lying and they're probably trying to sell you something. There's no way to build a winning ad every single time. It's physically impossible. But if you were to make 20 ad creatives for your brand before, you would maybe find 3 or 4 winners in there. But using this exact process, you can now make 20 ad creatives, and instead of finding 3 or 4 winners, you're gonna have 9, 10, 11, maybe even more. Let's face it, TikTok is a hard platform. It's different to the style of Facebook and Instagram, and it can be daunting to understand what a good creative is. But if you don't crack the TikTok ads platform, you are gonna lose out on valuable sales, and you won't be able to scale your account as quickly as some of your other competitors who have a process like this nailed down. Maybe you feel like you're just shooting in the dark. You're getting videos made, you're getting creatives, but you're just throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping something that sticks. There's no real proven strategy behind it that's repeatable and scalable. So let's jump in and get you set up with a framework for success. When it comes to running TikTok ads, this is the strategy that most people go for. They decide that they want to get started on TikTok, they want to set up some ads, and they understand that the creatives are an important part of it. They're maybe not going to be able to film all the creatives themselves, so they're going to need people that can help them out with that. And their first step is to go, okay, I need to find some creators, I need them to make me some ads, and then we'll get set up and launch. And that can work. Like fundamentally, that is what TikTok ads are about. It's about getting creatives made, running them as ads, and trying to make profit on the back end. Yes, at a basic level, that's what it's about. But the results that you get through TikTok ads comes down to the quality of those creatives that you're putting in. And that's why there's a whole process behind this point, behind the finding creators part. There's a whole process you need to go through if you actually want to scale your ads profitably. And that's where this system fits into your ad strategy. And here we have it, the high performance creative system. Now it's broken down into 4 parts. We've got step 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it's important you do these steps in order. We have to start at the beginning, work through the process in order, so that by the end of it we're able to pump out high performing creatives on demand. Now, step 1 is researching angles. At the end of the day, the number 1 fundamental of marketing is doing your research, really understanding your customer, who you're selling to, why they're buying your product, and then touching on those pain points. Really getting deep on the exact reason of why they're buying and using that messaging within your ad creatives. The angles and the pain points that you use will determine the success of your campaigns. Maybe one angle resonates a lot more with your target customers than the others do, and you need to lean into that. For example, if you're selling a microphone here, there's lots of different people who are in the market to buy microphones. It could be streamers, it could be podcast hosts, it could be someone doing Zoom calls for work. So number 1 is knowing who it is you're selling to, who's your target customer, and then testing the different angles of why they would buy. So for example, a streamer, they're going to be looking for the highest quality sound, and they're not going to be too worried about the portability of it, about where you can take it, because they're going to have it a fixed setup when they're streaming. So the angle that's going to really resonate with them is sound quality, or maybe it's to do with background noise, so they don't want to interrupt their stream. And the lightweight and portability aspect of this microphone isn't going to be a big driver for them in whether or not they buy. But until you test those different angles, until you test whether it's the noise reduction capability, but whether it's the overall sound quality, about how easily it integrates into streaming softwares and other platforms, until you test all those different angles, how do you know what it is that those people actually care about? The only way to find out is to do your research, get to know them, and come up with different ideas. So how do you find these angles? Well, there's multiple ways, but number 1, you can read customer reviews. Now, one of the best ways to get insights about your customers is to read reviews. They come straight from the mouth of your customer and they literally tell you why they're buying the product. What objections they had before they bought in, the things they were looking at, the things they were considering, why it turned out better than they expected. Reviews are one of the best possible ways to learn why your customers are buying and what weights they have on the different angles and features of your product. Another place to get good information is online forums. Now this is where your customers are going, they're chatting with each other, they're discussing how they're using the product and the things that they're considering when they're buying. So for example, maybe they're in the market for a new bike, a new bicycle, and they go in these online forums in the cycling community and they're asking other people about their opinions. Maybe someone who's already bought the bike, maybe it's someone who is in that buying process as well, reading other reviews, looking at recommendations, and they're asking things like, what's the best bike for using on the road? What's the best bike for using in the mountains? What's the most portable and easy to pick up and go bike that I can take anywhere I want to go? They're telling you the things that they're considering before they buy. And another great place is by reading articles and blogs, so different publications, news sites, information. Just join the community, learn what people are talking about, the type of jargon they're using, what matters and what doesn't. There's really no replacement from doing this initial research and understanding why people are buying your product. You cannot skip this part. It is the most fundamental part of marketing, and it's going to drive everything else in your campaign from here on out. This has to be the first step. So you've done your research, you know about your customer, you know why they're buying the product, you know everything about it, and you've got a list of all the different angles that you can now test. Now you're ready for step 2, and that is analysing your competitors. You want to search your niche or your industry and see what your competitors are doing already. What videos have performed well? What ones haven't performed well? What angles have they been testing? You don't need to reinvent the wheel. If a certain angle or concept is proven to go viral, you already know it works. There's an important caveat here, and it's don't just copy them. They've already done it. You need to be original. So bring your own perspective, bring your own unique angles to it, but follow the same paths. If there's a certain angle that they're taking, then you can lean into that as well. Bring your own spin, be creative with it, but don't reinvent the wheel. Follow the steps that are proven to work. They haven't copyrighted the idea. You are free to win off the same concepts that they're winning from. If you'd like to analyse your competitors, then you can use TikTok ad spy tools. Now, I've done a whole other video on this. I'll link it here. You can click through and watch that video in more detail about exactly how you can spy on your competitors. But there's tools out there like PP ads, or even the TikTok Creative Center, sorry, I'm getting the Creator Marketplace and Creative Center mixed up. But you can search videos on there, see what other brands are running, and then use those ideas that are proven to work already. Like I said, I've made a whole other video on this, you can check it out there, but TikTok spy tools, a great way to see what your competitors are doing. Another way to spy on them is just by searching hashtags. Get on the TikTok platform, type in keywords in your niche. So maybe you're a supplement brand, get on there and type in whey protein, type in creatine, supplements, gym, fitness, bodybuilding. Go through and then see what types of videos are working. There'll be certain trends that are going in your industry, certain styles of video, and you can lean your content into what's already proven to work and get a head start on the competition. We've done our research, so we understand who our customers are, we know what our competitors are now doing. So for step 3, what we're going to do next is swipe a hook. The hook is everything when it comes to TikTok. If you don't have a good hook, your video has no chance to perform. By hook, I mean the first 3 seconds of your video. It's the part of your creative that they see first, and it determines whether they're going to stop and watch or whether they're going to keep scrolling. And if they don't decide to stop and watch your video, it doesn't matter what you put in the rest of the ad. They're not going to make it to the end. They're not going to see your product. They're not going to see your call to action. They're not going to come to your website. So you need to get them stopped in those first 3 seconds and get them watching your content. The good thing about hooks is that you can use them like a formula. If it's proven to work for someone else, then it's likely going to perform for you as well. When you're working with creators, you can leave it up to them to come up with a hook, but if you're not working with an experienced creator, then you're taking on the risk that they're not going to use a good hook, and as we've just discussed, the hook is everything. This entire framework is about improving our success rate with creatives and making sure that as many videos as possible turn out to be winners. This is a vital step, as the hook really does make a huge difference to the performance. So if we do our own research and provide the creators with a list of hooks that we know are likely to perform, then we're stacking the odds in our favour. It's always good to offer guidance to creators on what makes a good creative. Let's take a look at how you find good hooks. The first place is by searching Twitter threads. If you're part of the e-commerce community, I highly recommend you get yourself on Twitter. There is an amazing network of people on Twitter who are sharing value all the time, loads of good content on there, and there's so much to learn. One of those things being hooks. A lot of the time what people will do is they'll offer a kind of lead magnet where they'll say, if you retweet this tweet, I'll send you a list of our top 50 performing hooks. You can take that list, store it for later, and build up a bank of high performing hooks. I'll link to a couple of these posts in the description below, a couple of examples of these kind of tweets. There are people who are handing out hooks already. And if not, I would go to Twitter and follow me anyway, because like I said, there's loads of good content in there. I'm sharing threads on TikTok, UGC, and there's loads of stuff to be learned on Twitter. So go and follow me there as well, at @markross_ecom. The next place you want to be finding good hooks is by building a swipe file. So just as you're scrolling through TikTok, if you come across videos that have performed really well, have grabbed your attention, or just generally you think is a good hook, store it for later. You can either just store it in the TikTok app using your favorites, or you can download it, add it to a Google Drive, or there's an app called Addison, which is a great swipe file tool for marketers as well. But somewhere you have to be storing examples of good hooks and good TikTok ads. And then finally is just to get creative. Come up with your own ideas, play around with it. Maybe it's something controversial. Controversy is always a good hook on TikTok. It stands out, grabs people's attention, and gets them watching. So come up with your own ideas. What can you do? What can you say that goes against the grain, maybe it's a little bit controversial, you can go on to explain yourself, and it doesn't have to be a really out there video that's going to ruin your brand or your reputation, but just try and come up with your own ideas of, if you saw this on your TikTok feed, you would stop and watch, and you know it would grab your attention. One of my best performing videos ever, you can see here it's got 11 million views, and it was a hook that I came up with just on the spot. What I said was how to make money whilst fighting climate change. Just think about that. If you saw that on your For You page, you were scrolling through TikTok, and someone says that you can make money at the same time as fighting climate change, try and tell me that you're not stopping to watch that video. That's the kind of thing you're looking for. It's those out there statements that are guaranteed to get people to stop. Once you've got a bank of good hooks, you've got there, you're in step 3 now, we're getting towards the end, and this is this part where you want to start finding creators. Using all of the research we did before about who our target customer is, we want to source creators that line up exactly with the demographic that we're trying to go after. Not only that, but the most important aspect of sourcing content creators for TikTok ads is finding authentic creators. The moment your video feels like an ad, you have failed. This is the thing that's overlooked by so many marketers and so many e-commerce brands, is they just go out and try and find creators who will do it for a good price and can somewhat film a video. This is the easiest way to kill your success rate with TikTok ads. This is when you're gonna make 20 videos and only 3 of them are gonna perform because you just simply couldn't source the right creators. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play you 2 examples of ads back to back and see if you can notice the difference.
I have to tell you about Vitamin Patch Club. I am obsessed. I just hate taking a bunch of pills, so I really love these patches, and the absorption rate is much better than oral pills. Most pills are also full of additives and fillers. I know that my body's getting the vitamins it needs all day long, and that's just amazing. Check out vitaminpatchclub.com.
I'm sure you guys have seen the hype about hyaluronic acid recently, so I thought I would put it to the test. I picked up the pure hyaluronic acid serum from Habitual Skincare. There's so many on the market and I didn't know which one to choose. This one in particular stood out to me because it was vegan and cruelty free, included a high percentage of active ingredients for a great price. Make sure to check out their website.
Night and day. One of them is boring, quite clearly fake, and is not compelling in any way whatsoever. The other is engaging, it's exciting, and it feels like it's made by an actual customer of the brand. And that's the key point here. This is user-generated content. Fundamentally, this content is meant to be made by your customers, by the people who are using your product. This new wave where you're paying creators to make videos for your brand is a whole different ballgame. It's a new industry, and to be honest, we're forgetting where it came from. It's meant to be customers. So the priority for you and the guiding metric when you're hiring these creators is, do they sound authentic? That's the number 1 thing you need to focus on. Let's show you where to find them. The first place you can find some really good UGC creators is again on Twitter. If you haven't noticed by now, Twitter is an absolute goldmine. There's an amazing community on there, and whether you're looking for UGC creators, an ad agency, creative people, other e-com brands to network with, you'll find them on Twitter. When you go on Twitter, you can just type in UGC creator in the search bar, but the one thing you want to be doing is always look through their portfolio. You're looking for work that they've done already, and again, you're looking for that authenticity. When you hear them speaking to the camera, you're listening back to content they've made for other people, do they come across as authentic? Do they have good energy? Are they exciting on camera? That's the kind of thing you're looking for, and make sure you qualify these people before you sign them up to do any videos. You can also find amazing creators on the Creator Marketplace. This is the tool made by TikTok for you to source creators for your brand. You can make a campaign, invite creators to come and work for you, and source creators directly within the TikTok platform. It's an amazing tool, and there's so many people on there that will make killer content. And then you can also just use the hashtags in the search function. So going on TikTok, searching through your niche. Maybe you're selling a skincare product that's moisturizer. Go and find beauty creators, skincare, makeup, and skincare routines. You know, search these common terms that creators in that niche should be using, and then reach out to those creators directly. Quite often they'll have either their Instagram or their email linked in their bio. You can reach out to them, send them a DM, and see if they're up for making some content for you. So here we have it, the 4 steps. You want to do your research. Next, you want to analyze your competitors. Build out a killer swipe file of high performing hooks, and then 4, source really high quality creators. All you have to do now is put together a creative brief using the research that you've already done, using the concepts and angles that you'd like to go after, and then giving guidance on the hooks that you want the creators to use as well. If you follow this process and implement this into your creative strategy, I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, you're going to get better results than if you were just to leave this up to the creators themselves. You will vastly improve your results with TikTok ads and confidently be able to scale your ad spend profitably month on month. Like I said, follow me on Twitter and drop me a DM if you've got any questions.